All right, welcome back, everybody. We got another podcast episode for you. This time we are previewing the final season of 2023, the fall season, wrapping up the year. Doesn't feel like that yet. It's September when we're recording this right now, but these are all starting around October, so it's actually not that far off. There's a ton of shows this time around. Lots of sequels.
It's a 1 year anniversary of us
this
doing
is
these now.
Thank you for pointing that. I forgot about that. Yeah, this marks the 1 year anniversary of us doing this stupid podcast, which is insane. It does not feel like we've been doing it that long.
Time keeps on slipping.
Maybe we've gotten better at it. I don't know.
I'd say like a very marginal improvement.
We have at least tried to get our systems down a little bit better. To varying degrees of success. Thank you.
Yeah,
Shout out to
each
Avid
recording has
Media
been different
Composer.
for sure.
Anyway, we're gonna keep
enough about
trucking on.
us.
No, this is about us. That's the whole point of a podcast.
I mean, it's about the anime and our opinions on that anime.
I think it's about us. Anyway,
Actually, since this is a new season, should we like do a little introduction?
oh yeah,
for
we do
ourselves, or-
we do
Yeah,
that
we should.
at the previews.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Hey, this is me. I'm Tex-Mex. I go by Juan. I'm a guy. I like watching shows.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I lean towards action, and I'm also I'm more lenient towards ecchi as opposed to the others. Chris, you go next.
All right. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm also a guy that watches stuff on the Guy Watching Stuff podcast. I would say that I give everything a shot. I tend to be a little bit more, so I guess people would call me a snob. I would argue that I just have higher quality taste. I tend to need shows to be doing a little bit more. Like I like originality, and high production values and good writing. Which, when I say it like that,
It makes you sound like a snob. Yeah, you're right.
I was gonna say it makes me sound like that's just what anything should have, but not always the case.
You're the most critical out of the group, I'd say.
The most pretentious.
And the most right.
Shut up. All right, next up.
So I'm Logan. I tend to like the artsy fartsy stuff that doesn't make any sense on the first time you watch it. I am also our manga correspondent, which is a big deal for this podcast because every season I go through and I read at least the first chapter of every manga adaptation that is coming out in the season. So I have lots of opinions because there were a ton of them.
And I'm Tim. I'm the one who is the most diverse here, who probably watches the most out of everyone here. And probably the most right. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. Tim is a true connoisseur in that he watches basically everything, or at least tries
Genuinely everything.
which is useful to have on the podcast, but also the behavior of a true maniac in many ways.
This season might be a breaking point.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Understandable.
I
Very
counted,
understandable.
the shows that I were probably thinking about watching, and it's like almost 60.
That's just too many.
Oh, that's
just
too many shows, my guy. That's
So
too
we'll see
many.
It's like a full-time job. Like, what are you doing? Anyway,
We'll see if I break this season.
okay. We're going to start at the top with the sequel power hour. We're really just going to kind of go over some of the highlights. There's a lot. There's like, I would say maybe double the list that I have written down here of sequels. I don't have some of the like the Paladin show or whatever. Any sequel that most of us really don't give it that much of a shit about or aren't really paying attention to, I left out. So we're just going to kind of go through the highlights. Keep it brief. This is mainly a podcast about new stuff. So, we can do sequel wrap-ups when it is time for the end of season podcast. That's when we can talk about it and get into it a little bit deeper. Real quick, Dr. Stone, New World Part 2. Season 1 was great. Looking forward to the conclusion of this arc. I don't know if anyone
I got
else.
nothing else to say about it.
cool.
No.
Fully Coolly Grunge. Didn't watch the last one. Think the CGI looks pretty ugly. Wish they would stop making more of this franchise. It was good in the original. Boomer.
The aesthetic of the promo art is at least pretty cool.
I think
like
I don't like the
aesthetic of it,
CGI. I think it looks bad.
but that's understandable.
And I'm not a CGI hater. But I didn't watch either of the other FLCL sequels because I heard they were bad, and I just kind of assumed this will also be bad.
I don't know if anybody
Understandable.
watched either of the other
Yeah.
FLCL sequels, so.
No.
Goblin Slayer. Did anybody but Tim watch Goblin Slayer?
I watched season 1.
Are you gonna watch season 2?
No.
Okay. Tim, are you looking forward to it? Or are you
I'll watch it. I don't know about looking forward to it.
excellent?
Glowing reviews all around.
But Emminence and Shadow, you are looking forward to.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
We'll see if I can get caught up in time. And then how about Kanojo no Kanojo season 2?
I'm actually a little excited for this one. This show was actually like really funny. For Ecchi Bros at least. I remember laughing quite hard at a couple scenes.
It had some really good gags.
Did you read the manga to this, Tim? Or was it just Mark?
No, I think it was just Mark.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to go back with Ecchi Bros with this.
All right. And then Mahoutskuai no Yome season 2 part 2. They just took a 1 core break on this one. It started in the spring, and now they're finishing it off. I did not get caught
We
up
never
in
got
time.
around to
Yeah,
doing it, Chris.
but, you know,
we never did.
I'm sure people are excited about this one.
I'm sure they are.
One, catching up.
SpyxFamily season 2 is probably
Hey, yo.
the sequel I am looking the most forward to because I know this arc gonna be heat. It's covering some of the best parts of the manga this season, and I'm just ready. It's back, baby.
Do you have an idea of where it's gonna end?
Not really. I'm sure I would if I thought about it really hard, but it's kind of been a while
Sure.
since I've read this.
Yeah.
Tokyo Revengers. I don't
Okay.
know what technical season this is, if it's 3 or 4 or whatever, but
I think this is technically season 4. No, technically
Yes.
season 3. Season 3. Sorry.
What was
Is
it?
the-
Was the
is the
Christmas
cr-
season 2?
Yeah, the Christmas arc was season 2.
All right.
Okay, so I went ahead and read the manga for this. This is the last good arc of Tokyo Revengers. You could, and I this is actually really good. It's a good arc. I like it a lot. So I hope the adaptation does it well. And after this arc, you can just stop watching Tokyo Revengers. You'll be fine.
yeah,
I sure plan to.
I'm putting a lot of trust in you because I did not like the last season like at all.
The
And
Christmas arc kind of sucks.
and
It's just paced so bad.
I'll trust you on this one. I'll watch it, but we'll see.
I hope the adaptation does it well.
Okay,
If this sucks, I will kill you.
true.
All right, this is why we have this recorded.
Tate no Yuusha evidence. Tate no Yuusha Nariagari. That's Shield Hero, right? Season 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone hates
heard
this
season
show
2
now.
was
Yeah,
awful.
everyone like fucking hates this show now. Which
Everyone
is great.
hates it, but it's also still
Popular.
the most anticipated anime on Mao.
Oh,
for
so
some
everyone's still gonna
reason.
fucking watch it. Whatever. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
people are
I
sheep.
feel
So-
I feel justified because I hated it at the beginning. So
I wish Kevin Penkin worked on better shows.
true.
You can just
Uh,
go watch Pokemon instead.
true.
I will.
Saihate no Paladin season 2 or 3 or something. I don't even.
Season 2.
I did not watch season 1 and I don't care. Dead Mountain Death Play part 2. I did not finish part 1, so don't necessarily plan on watching part 2 either. We have Mahoutskuai on here twice for some reason, and then I don't even know what is Seijo Maryoku Bannou. I don't actually know what this is. The Saint's
It's
magic
the,
power is omnipotent. Wow, I can't believe this is getting a second season. That's crazy.
It's only been like 2 years. This is like more for the female audience, so I guess they needed more variety in that area.
I just barely even remembered. Okay, and then the Toilet Bound Hanako-kun isn't really a season 2. It's getting like a 4-episode ONA.
It
Oh,
is.
is this? Okay.
It's more like
It's
a
like
movie.
No, it's a spin-off.
It's a spin-off, yeah, so
Story.
I'm not calling this season 2. I'll watch it because I like Hanako-kun and I like season 1. It was,
I mean, you want to put in the new stuff section?
nah, it's fine.
That's why
I'll
I'm like,
I'll
check
watch
over
it,
here.
but I'm just saying, if you're looking forward to a season 2, I think that is later down the line, and this is not that.
Maybe. We're not sure what the new Hanako-kun is.
And that's it. We're all done. We're gonna move on to the real heat. New shows.
Yeah.
Logan, get us started off.
All right. So 16-bit sensation is interesting, but it's not really interesting enough. It is about essentially VN development in the 90s. This girl basically gets press ganged into working on a VN team as an artist. It's I don't know, it's a lot more functional than fictional. Like, the author clearly knows a lot about PC game development back in the days when you had to develop for a specific PC, but I don't think that they're all interested in, like, writing characters or chronicling a story. Like, you know, the characters are just, like, one-quirkers for the most part, and it kind of feels like some of those, like, you know, the edutainment shows on PBS where the kids go back in time and George Washington tells them about the Revolutionary War while it's happening, whatever. Only focused on a more important setting in history, obviously. But I can't personally recommend this just because, like, you know, getting dryly educated at isn't really what I come to anime for. But if you're interested in, like, PC game development in the 90s, this might be up your alley.
I do want to point out they're making porn games. So George Washington is taking the kids back in time to teach them how to make porn games. What a weird topic for. Yes, it's in the
It's in the Mal description.
Submit unless the Mal description is wrong. I can't believe it didn't come up in the manga. Yeah, they. So
did you only read the one chapter?
They're making H games in the 90s, which to be fair. Oh, go ahead.
They called them Bishoujo games. I assumed that was just, you know...
Bishoujo means
like
pretty girl.
Yeah, I assumed that was just like a pretty girl.
I mean, like, you know, 90s era, like, porn VNs are based. That's a very deep rabbit hole of media to go through. There's a lot of interesting stuff there, but, like, damn. I don't... me... Yeah, go ahead.
This sounds like a hentai. Like, at least like the way the plot is written, or the synopsis is written. And unfortunately, that's enough to catch my interest.
I think it's going to be more like Logan's talking about and be a super special interest niche thing. But I also got edgy
I'm
vibes
totally
from
okay
it.
With.
I don't know.
Totally okay
this one's hard to pin down. Maybe I'll check out episode 1 just out of curiosity, but just to see which direction it's kind of leaning in. But I'm always the whole genre of like, we're making porn, which is like a really weirdly popular ecchi subgenre. Those are almost always dog shit. So I don't know. We'll see.
It feels like an ecchi bro show to me. Tim, Logan.
I mean, I think that it's gonna be very dry compared to what your usual ecchi bro shows are like, but up to you, I suppose.
Okay, Akuma-kun. I didn't have this on my list. I don't know where this is from.
It's an ONA. Is it on Anime?
Tim put it in.
It's not on Mal.
It's on Mal. It's
it is. Oh, wait, hold on. It's not on any list.
It's on the TV section.
ONA moment.
Yeah.
ONA moment.
Yeah, it's a Netflix show. That's
oh yeah, I'm watching this. I remember I watched the preview of this a while ago. Yeah, this looks really cool.
It looks like a horror shonen, right?
It's got such a unique art style. It reminds me a little bit like Gegege no Kitaru. I don't know if it's the same shit. It's got a very old style. Oh, it's because it's an adaptation of a very old manga.
From the 60s.
Yeah. Oh my god, from the 60s. Wow.
And it's from the guy who made Gegege.
That's okay, that's why it's the same art style. That makes sense. Yeah, this seems neat. I think the visual flair on this looks really cool. It's got kind of a maybe it doesn't have a Devilman vibe. The poster has a Devilman vibe.
Just the one guy in the background.
Yeah. But this is a neat cast, and it looks like it's got some really nice production values. So I'm interested for sure.
Did Logan read the manga to this or no?
Couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it? Okay.
It is old. I don't blame you. It's ancient.
But I'm willing to give it a shot, you know, especially if it's an older manga. I've always been interested in like stuff that predates the 80s because that's all I really know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the preview looks really cool.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely going to check this out.
Cool. Very neat. Okay, Logan. Tell us about this cool office romance.
So Atarashii Joushi wa Dotennen. Every season, there's a comedy that just fails to make me laugh, and this season, it's Atarashii. It's a one joker, and I read about 4 chapters, or I think I read 2 chapters, but they're like relatively short chapters, about a former black company employee whose new boss is, to the employee's continual shock, not abusive, but quirky. They really don't even, like, you would think in this kind of comedy they would do a thing where, like, the guy seems like he's about to do something bad, and then he doesn't. He does something quirky instead, but they don't really even set the jokes up like that very well, because that might accidentally make people laugh. This is also a yaoi, but given that they tried to string out a single joke for as long as they did, I don't like the chances that they aren't just gonna string the romance out for a million years too. So I don't know. I'm
sure
not
it's a
recommending this. It certainly
yes,
seemed like
it's 100%
It feels like
a yaoi.
bait. Yeah.
Did you watch the
It's
preview?
yaoi bait, but it's not like
I think it's straight up like BL.
I don't think so.
Anyway, it's been one of those weeks.
The English name of the show is called My New Boss is Goofy.
Yeah.
The first thought in my mind was, my employer let me hit because I'm goofy.
My first thought is that it's Goofy from Kingdom Hearts.
I would watch that show.
Me too.
I would be way more
My
inclined to
boss
watch
is
that
Goofy
show
from
than
Kingdom
this
Hearts.
one.
Anyway, I hope they have sex by the cooler after hours. That'd be cool for the girls watching this that are into this. This looked boring. I'm fine with
We are
office.
the wrong audience.
I'm the wrong audience. I'm fine with workplace drama, romance, whatever. But a lot of these have been really dry recently. This one at least is A1 and has some good production values. So,
It is A1? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
so for those
It's
that
A1.
want this, here it is. Delicious. Yum, yum, yum. But I am not the target audience for this. I hope it's good. I hope it's good for those that want it to be good. I don't know if Tim
Alright.
has any more thoughts, or we can move on to the fucking ad show.
I think you've vastly misinterpreted what the show's about. I don't think there's going to be like any romance other than like what like the audience like wants to put in there. I think it's going to be more of like a
Are you gonna watch
lighthearted
it?
comedy.
I'll
kind of
say
show.
this, Timothy. If there is no romance in this, then there is nothing in this.
Wow.
It's supposed to be more of a slice of life, which I know is like
I'm
the
so tempted to bet
anti-Logan.
money, but I don't know if I will.
I'll bet money.
All right,
We'll do a deal.
$5.
You have the whole
If
audience.
I'm not gonna watch it though, so you're gonna have to be honest with me.
Okay.
Or the
I
problem is
can't
we have to
believe-
go. We have to go with like what determines like what counts as it being romance. Like I don't. They may not
impartial.
kiss.
We
If
need
they
an
blush?
impartial third party to determine if this is yaoi.
They were looking at each other and blushing and touching in the trailer. That's why I'm so confident. Anyway, all right, we'll work out the deals later, but I'm confident at least.
All right.
I can't believe Tim is watching a yaoi bait show for money.
Real quick, there's a new season of a new Beyblade adaptation. It's called Beyblade X. If you like Beyblade and want to watch them, let them rip. Here it is. But I think this is for children, based on everything I've seen about it.
The production value of it does look kind of good.
It looks
'cause it's
okay.
OLM.
It's
Yeah.
OLM.
New OLM is pretty
I
good.
mean, OLM
So,
makes a bunch of kids
They
shows.
do good stuff.
Yeah.
They do.
If you love Beyblade,
most-
check it out.
The most interesting thing is it's the Promised Neverland artists,
Yeah, you can see their
The-
foreheads.
Kakaguri, and High Card Arthur all working
Well.
to make this one.
Wow.
The second thing you said made me want to watch it much less.
Hey, you're still watching the second season of High Card, aren't you?
Bikura. Yes, I am, of course. Bikurumen is not on any chart, but the next one we're talking about is called Bikurumen. Juan, would you like to tell us about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so apparently this is an anime about a chocolate wafer snack. Apparently they have like mascots and they are making an anime with the mascots. This is like if the Kellogg's cereal made a shonen anime based
Okay,
on their mascots.
But what you're talking about is so much cooler than what this is going to be like.
Yeah.
What you just said I would watch in a heartbeat, and that's not what this is. This
Well, yeah, that's
also
because we have attachment to the Kellogg's mascots.
That's
I'm sure
true.
the Japanese people have attachment to these chocolate mascots.
I don't know. This looks
But, like-
very, very monetized to me. Like it revolves around people using collectible stickers as a power up, and that just screams this is for children to buy a product, and that's kind of the entire vibe this show gave me. And
It does.
so
What's interesting to me is that they've done this before back in like the 80s, and they had like a 50+ episode runtime.
yeah, I saw
What?
that there was there's another one too. Yeah, an old one. But
That's crazy.
we're not cereal eating or chocolate eating kids in Japan, so I feel like yet
I
again.
mean, we can be.
True. Hey, I would try the chocolate. I'm always down.
Now, that being said, like the trailer itself has like some Sentai vibes going, and like that's kind of
that's
cool.
what they're going for. I think is the genre.
I think if the rest of y'all were down to check it out, I'd be down to check it out. But like from the sound of it, it sounds like no.
not
think they're
not
checking
even
it
close.
out.
I think you're
I don't even
overestimating
like chocolate.
what this
I
is. gonna
probably
be.
am.
Okay, Tim, tell us about esports.
So this is Our Rainy Protocol, which is basically an esports a show about like a guy competing in esports, and we basically don't know much other than that. That being said, ever since what 2017 or something, whenever King's Avatar came out, and that was like the first like quote unquote like esports anime. Like I think we've all been thirsting for like a proper like anime esports tournament arc kind of series, and I'm hoping this like is gonna be what we're asking for. But it literally this like anime just got announced like a month or two ago, like very recent. I think like July. So we don't know anything. The director's like fresh out, and we don't really have anything other than like this like 1 minute TV that shows us nothing.
That shows very little.
So it's really hard to know how it goes. I'm hoping it's gonna be good. But
I'm not too confident. I'm with you. I am the person Tim was describing. I would love a really well done, maybe sports shonen style show about an esports player like competing in like tournaments.
You haven't seen King's Avatar?
No, I haven't. And maybe I should go back and watch that if it does it better. But I think that this just look from the trailer. This looks incredibly generic. It's just like you have such a cool premise and then you're wasting it by stuffing it full of like the same extremely tired seasonal anime like bullshit and tropes that we see in every single show. It's a trailer, so obviously I would have to watch more of it.
The trailer really shows us like nothing.
I know, which is why
Like,
I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. But to me, this came off pretty generic, which is lame. I also wish they could have gotten like a partnership deal with a real video game, but it's fine. We can use the made up game.
Nah, there's no way.
I
It's
know.
like 20 seconds of footage. Hey, Juan,
Yeah.
for Inu-san's dog, what do you think of the animation?
Oh, that's right. That's the other thing. That's the same fucking.
No. Juan.
I forgot.
Wait, it's the same studio as Inukai-san's
Yes.
dog?
Yeah. Studio
Shit.
Quad has made like
Two shows.
2 shows. They made Inuka-san's dog and then something last year.
The monster making company, whatever it was
Yeah.
called.
I didn't see that. Okay. The animation of Inukai-san's dog isn't special. It's like fine, I guess. So like I don't think that's gonna be like a factor.
What a weird pivot.
Yeah, but
like-
like what?
That's all I really have to gauge the quality of the show, just because the director's like brand new.
Yeah,
and
he's
hasn't
new.
really done anything
Yeah.
at all. So my only gauge of how well the show is going to be is the studio, which the only thing you guys have seen is Inukai's dog. So
Now, it does have an all-star voice cast with Kensho Ono, Sora Mamiya, and Inori Minase. Like those are all great voice actors.
and so
Maybe they spend all their money on that though. There's another show
That's what I
later
said,
on.
yeah.
There's another show later on where I think that is definitely the case. Okay, let's move on. Juan, tell us about Bukenshi ni Naratai no whatever. S rank something.
Yeah, it's a long name here. I'll do the English title. My daughter left the nest and returned as an S-rank adventurer.
Mm-hmm.
The long title made me think it was an isekai, but it's actually just like a kind of like a generic fantasy show.
Yeah.
But it does have like a father-daughter relationship as like the main attractor for the show, and like that's kind of enough for me to want to check it out. Like even like the trailer, it looks kind of cool with it. Did you guys hear anything about this before the anime?
No clue. But I will say that of all the like fantasy slop that I had to sift through this season, this has one of the better art styles. It looks nice, at least, and I think that the premise is unique, which is something that I cannot say about most of these shows. So those two things alone raise the slop factor a little bit here, like to a higher level. And I think that this is probably going to be solid, maybe watchable. I don't know if I'll check it out. I might. But yeah, I'm not. I think if you're looking for this type of show, then this is probably one of the better looking ones, at least.
Like I'm definitely down to check it out just because of the father-daughter dynamic to it. Like we don't see a lot of those.
No. Yeah.
Like, the last one I can think of is like the Golem show.
Yeah. And she's also older. She's like a grown ass person and
Too, yeah.
independent.
not like a child.
Yeah.
Any DILF fans in the audience? The dad is a proper DILF.
That's me, baby. Logan, any thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not really hearing anything that I like want to see all that badly. If you guys come back and say it's that heat, I might be willing to give it a shot.
I doubt it.
Like, I doubt it. Exactly.
Any thoughts on this, Tim, or we move on?
We can move on.
Okay.
All right.
Next up is Boshuko no Berserk, which is what I would consider to be proper slop for the pigs. So they got the walled Isekai Circle City. Check mark. The main character looks like Isekai Protagonist 1. He looks exactly like Kirito. Check mark 2. I think this is meant to be kind of edgy. Really mid animation and visuals. There's nothing special about it. The premise is that he's very hungry, but then he kills someone, and then he takes their powers when he kills them, and that feeds the hunger he's had his whole life. Whoa. And now will he eat people and suck them off? I don't know. The premise sounded a lot edgier than the trailer ended up being. What the trailer reads is a very boilerplate. Like, there's a bunch of cute anime girls. The harem gets assembled very quickly. There's like 8 girls in a 1 minute 30-second trailer. We can stop talking about this if you guys want.
I do want to point out that the main character's name is Fate Graphite.
The names are good. I'll give this anime one thing. The names are.
I was gonna make fun of it. Fate Graphite and Roxy
Heart. Yeah. I like both of those. They're solid.
This guy wants to be Guts so bad.
He does. It's true.
Like, the English name of this is Berserk of Gluttony. Like,
yeah.
Dude, this is like a huge tryhard. I don't even know if this is like isekai or if it's like just
generic
fantasy. Power fantasy.
Yeah. Okay.
Native isekai.
Adjacent.
Native isekai, Christ. Yeah, I'm
next
fine.
one
I'm good.
is an isekai, though, a proper one.
I wouldn't say proper isekai.
No, it is.
But...
He is reincarnated from the real world into a fantasy world.
Is this a fantasy world? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So it wasn't clear until I watched the trailer, but I agree.
Okay, the name of the show is called Buta no Liver, or no, Liver
yeah.
Kanetsu Shiro. Heat the Pig Liver, the story of a man turned into a pig. From the synopsis, this makes it sound like Inuka-san's
That's what I thought it was too
guy...
at first, but then I realized it was an isekai. It's more like Spider and the vending machine and sword or whatever.
Yeah, so like it's kind of like that, where the guy is reborn as a pig, and it sounds less horny and more wholesome. So that's already better than Inuka-san's dog.
I will give the show... Oh, go ahead.
This sounds just dumb enough for me to want to check it out.
I will give the show one thing, which is that the pig is very cute.
The pig is adorable.
That right. I do not trust this show. I think it's going to be horny.
Don't?
I have such low expectations on this one.
I feel like it's going to be more wholesome than horny.
And
especially
look,
did one of you guys say it was like written by the guy that did the vending machine?
No, he just worked on the same project. I think it's a director or something.
Oh, okay, same director. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Project number 9 is
the
doing
assistant director for the vending machine.
Project number 9 is doing 3 shows this season, by the way, which is insane.
Silver Link is doing 2, I think.
Well, Project number 9 has never done more than 1 show in a season before this, to my knowledge. So I don't know why they're suddenly doing so many. Anyway, I don't know, Tim. You wanna watch the pig show? I will say pigs are cool. Maybe he'll dig for truffles. I have no idea what's going to happen.
It's definitely gonna be more on the wholesome side than like the weird.
Look,
etchy
maybe I'll watch
stuff.
an episode of it if that's the case.
No, I feel like this is gonna be like an ecchi bros show.
But it's not even etchy. I don't know. If
it's not. But
we watch non-etchy stuff. We're watching the Saint Cecilie show together. And that's not etchy.
I will admit, she accepts him despite his boorish thoughts is hilarious. Oh,
she does plan to eat him.
I hope she eats him. That would be sweet.
No,
anyway.
I'm sure that's gonna be like the running gag of the show. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat you. Haha.
Haha. Anyway. All right, Logan. Tell us about this next one.
All right, so Dekoboko Maho no Yako Jijo, which, I mean, I hesitate to call it a one-joker comedy because I don't think jokes are the actual appeal. Like, this is an excuse for a character to breast boobily in the presence of a different, somewhat envious character, and that's more of a fetish than a joke. The premise here is that the witch girl, who is the most prominently the blonde one featured on the poster, finds a baby in the woods, and the baby's a human.
No, the brown-haired girl is the mother. The blonde-haired is the daughter.
No, Chris. No,
it's the other way around?
No.
It's the other way around.
Yes.
That was not clear in the trailer at all.
That's funny because that is kind of the joke, as much as there is a
that
joke.
doesn't make any sense. Wait,
there's a lot of...
the blonde is the witch.
I'm so confused.
Yeah. It's in the synopsis,
blonde one
too.
is the witch. Yes. Yeah, that is kind of the joke. And it's not a particularly funny joke. They have to do that thing where the character explains the wacky misunderstandings in smaller parenthetical text inside the speech bubble when they're doing that bit. And the boobs are attached to one of the most grating personalities I've read in a manga in ages. The brown-haired girl is so annoying, it is unreal. She's got that whole, like, ooh, I'm very protective of my mama thing going on. She's like, oh, if you're thinking about dating men or whatever, I'll kill them for you or whatever. That kind of, And what's it called? The blonde one is, just kind of an off-the-rack adopted mother situation. They try to drag some banal, ooh, I love my daughter pathos stuff into it at the very last minute, and it just kind of feels more like a thing that they had to do than a thing that they wanted to do, And so then I just crack open the second chapter just to kind of see what it's like, and they open on the exact same boobs has no boobs is boobs in her face joke that they opened chapter 1 with, and I just threw my phone out the window. I hate this so much, man.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I was gonna make some jokes about, like, I am not immune to hot witch women, which is still true. But the fact that the brown one is the daughter and the blonde one is the mom has made me completely lose any vestigial interest in this show that I had originally, and I do not care anymore. I also have in my notes that I was like, I think this is just going to be boobs joke the show, and I don't know if that's quite enough to carry it. I might watch episode 1 to see how bad it is based on Logan's description here, but like, I am so much less interested. I thought it was going to be a MILF witch and her MILF witch friends raising an adopted daughter, and I was like, yes. What a great premise.
Well, anyway. Chris, there are still other MILF witches that are raising this girl, too.
I know.
Which
yeah, the aunties are
all about it.
I figured.
I'm all about it, Chris.
I don't
Chris,
like
have you ever heard of Oyakodon?
The whole lolly is the mom gimmick is a little silly. I don't know. We'll see.
She's not a lolly.
I know, but
she looks like 16.
She doesn't look like an adult woman. What's the point of a mom if she's not a MILF? Anyway.
Because that's why you have the daughter to be the MILF. I'm all about this. I'm all about Oyakodon. Reverse Oyakodon in a way.
I think that I like the designs. I think the girls are pretty, but like
the designs are great. I like the designs.
Like I said, I love witches, and so I'm biased in that regard. This might get the shameful episode 1 watch out of me, but I will admit I got my skimming tricked me.
I'm gonna say that this is probably gonna be an Ecchi Bros show.
An Ecchi Bros show, which Chris tags along at least for episode 1.
I might be with that. I don't know. We have a lot of Ecchi Bros.
Yeah, I feel
I think this season has a lot of Ecchi Bros shows, and we might have to pick and choose.
I think we might cut it because this just looks like Boobs the anime.
Which I
was gonna say, I feel like that's what half the shit y'all watch.
Which is like,
when did you guys get Tates?
Any other Ecchi Bros season we might do it, but like, there's a lot of Ecchi Bros this season.
We'll see.
Okay, next up, does anyone know anything about this show? Because I could not find anything about this show.
Which one?
I couldn't
Dog
find the
Signal.
manga.
There's no
manga.
I couldn't find a PV. The art looks like it's made by a yaoi writer from the 2008, and the dogs are deeply off-putting to me. There's some seriously uncanny valley shit about this art. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. This just you'd think I'd like it because I love dogs, but no, I'm staying away from this one. It puts me off. I don't know what's
I've heard about this manga before. And like I've heard it's like kind of like good. Yeah, I've heard about Dog Signal, like, or maybe like I saw it in the library once.
There's no way.
Why?
Maybe.
This has 50 people on Mal on who has seen the manga.
Really?
And one of them is a friend of Juan's, apparently.
Maybe I
One
don't
of them
fucking
donated
know.
it to the library.
No. Sorry. There are not 10 people that have read the manga.
Okay.
There's 47 people that are planned to read the manga. So only 10 people have actually read this manga.
That's crazy.
We'll see. Like, I don't, dude. It's about dog walking.
I just want information.
Okay. The craziest thing about this to me is that this is the director of Spy Family who's working on this.
Yo,
What?
Kazuhiro Furuhashi.
Yeah.
He's the director for this show, and that's the thing that like blows me away.
He's
the
working.
most.
He's working on this and Spy Family at the same season.
And that's the only news we have about this show. Basically, it's like the cast, which you guys don't really
I
care
will
about.
admit the Mal
And
poster
then-
looks better than the manga one, so maybe they can fix it. We'll check back in on this one and then and the first reaction.
We'll find out if this is real and it exists next time.
Just because it's about dogs, I'm all about it. Like, I don't. Chris is off put by the dogs. I'm fine with it.
I think the anime dogs are very cute in that poster.
yeah, the
I don't
Mal
know.
poster looks much better than the manga one does. Okay.
Let me see the
Logan?
Mal one.
Yeah, or no, yeah, Good Night World. is
Ah,
next.
I mean, yes,
adorable.
this is me, but
So it's not on.
Yeah,
Good Night
see,
World
I
is
don't
not
know
on.
what Chris is on about. The dogs
Dude,
are very
I don't know. The Mal poster puts me off.
The two doggos?
Tell me
That's
about
crazy.
Good Night World, Logan.
all right. So every season, there's a comedy that fails to make me laugh, but much rarer is the perfect opposite. The drama that makes me laugh like a madman.
Oh,
Good Night World is about 4 members of like a high-level, full-dive MMO guild who all come from different backgrounds and broken families to find solace together in their in-game found family, and at the end of the first chapter, it's revealed that their different backgrounds are the same background and their broken families are the same family because all of these people are directly related and live together and none of them know. You could hear my laugh through the entire house when this was revealed. And I think it's supposed to be a dramatic thing, but
I feel like
that was
premise
not
doesn't
how I
work.
took it. You see, okay, so at the end of chapter 2, I kept going with this. I had to see where this was going to go. There is an event. The father has a heart attack, or like a heart problem, and he goes to the hospital. And it should have been clear to the older brother character that, like, at barest minimum, he knows directly who the dad and who the younger brother are. Like, he would have had to have known by the end of the chapter. There is no possible other interpretation of the events that he saw, other than that his guildmates are his family. And then he just keeps going and acts like it's normal. And the characters were very inexpertly defined, I would say. I still don't really know much of anything at all about the mom, except that she likes flowers, and that she's a shut-in in real life. And it's really blunt, so the dramatic reveal didn't really feel like a dramatic reveal, it just kind of felt like a punchline. And yeah, like I said, Chapter 2 completely blows up the already very fragile verisimilitude of the situation. And I gotta reiterate, the older brother is supposed to be the smart one. He's the honor student. Anyway. It's a drama with flat characters and no stakes. As a comedy, it was pretty funny. I don't think that that's going to hold up. I'm not going to watch
This,
but I was
Really?
glad
It
at
is
least that I
tagged-
read the first chapter.
it is tagged as comedy as the first genre in
Really?
both Mal and on both the manga.
It
and
felt
anime.
like it was taking itself very seriously.
It might be.
In-
The Mal tags
in
aren't.
any list, it says action, drama, fantasy, psychological.
Yeah.
No comedy.
I didn't see this on
Psychological,
the
my
list.
ass.
Anyway, this sounds like one of those premises that someone came up with and was like, "Yeah, whoa, that's so crazy," and they started writing it, but didn't ever actually think about it or how it would work out, and they wrote themselves
Mhm.
into a hole. And then you have to have situations like Logan talks about where
Mhm.
there's like literally no way they wouldn't know, and they're
And
gonna.
it would have been it would have been better if that had happened like towards the end of the manga, as they're supposed to be starting to realize like, oh, we actually are a family. We can live together and work together and be fine. We just have to drop the whatever the trauma. I think there's implied to be a dead sister involved in this at some point.
That would explain things.
Yeah, but we have to just drop our trauma and start to like each other again or whatever. But like they do it too early, and now it just makes the characters feel like they're morons.
Which is kind of how I think I would feel about this. Maybe episode 1 we can do a test drive to see how they handle the reveal just for comedy purposes, but yeah, I'm with you. This sounds deeply irritating.
You guys sound so put off by this, but like I don't know, like the premise sounds interesting to me. It really does.
You don't think it's gonna bug you?
I think a talented writer, or a better written, like the minute-to-minute dialogue is not very good. It's like in the MMO, everything is so peaceful and idyllic, and outside of the MMO, everything is the maximum amount of terrible that it could be, and it doesn't feel like real people interacting, it just feels weird and off. Like I could begrudge this show its premise if it was giving me something else, but it isn't.
Netflix liked it though, so they picked it up. I don't know, man. If y'all are interested, I might check out the first episode, but like I said, this sounds...
I definitely want to check out the first episode.
Anyway, also the only other major show that the studio has done recently is the fucking Hoshino Samidare adaptation, which was bad. This studio is very hit or miss. They've made a couple of, I think it's team based because It Invaded looks and like is great and looks great, but like Oregasuki Nano Iwaimoto is one of the ugliest shows that's ever come out ever, and like so is Hoshino Samidare, unfortunately. So
they have Bisco too.
The filme one was fine.
Yeah, hit or miss. So I think if Netflix is picking it up, the visuals are at least probably going to be okay.
And Hajime to no Gal.
Yeah,
this is very hit or miss.
Like, it's very hit or miss. I think the concept's gonna be interesting to just see how they balance the drama and comedy side of it, because it seems like the game side's very like lighthearted, fun, comedic, and then the real world side's much more like dramatic.
Okay, but they have to. That has to like work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my point is like I'm curious to see how it actually like mixes.
Me as well.
Cautious.
I'll check out episode 1.
Logan's not a fan, but the anime could be different, or Logan could just be wrong.
No,
Logan's been wrong before.
No, based on
this
the
is
facts.
the kind of thing I could be a fan of. This is not like me, crapping on a romance. I think that my opinions are.
Well, how much did you read? Is this like episode 1 of 16-bit where you didn't know they were making any Rogue?
I read 2 chapters.
2 chapters is enough to get.
And I got more than enough of the writing.
I think it's worth checking out just to see how it goes.
Okay. We'll come back and then we'll decide who was right. Whoa, drama. It's like our family is broken. Anyway,
but
Logan,
on the podcast, we're all friends.
On the, I feel like that's the reverse is true. Okay, tell us about Hamatsu no Okuku. Yeah.
I would love to. The first thing I should tell you about Hametsu no Okoku is that, basically every time I've been called upon to write about it for the pre-read or think about it in any capacity, I've had to remind myself which one it was, which is a great sign. So this is it's like a whole magic versus technology thing, people think witches are evil and holding humanity back for ill-defined reasons. And of course there's a main character who's a human with a witch mother for some reason, an adopted, street urchin situation. Seen those before, and of course she dies because that's big pathos in chapter 1. It doesn't even have good action in that scene where she dies, because she just kind of gets insta-gibbed. She doesn't get to do any magic. She just gets killed immediately by whatever a photon inhibitor is. And then she loses her magic and then they execute her or whatever. And if this whole thing isn't just a kind of lame excuse to look at blood and tits, then it made a very bad first impression, because that is all I thought of it after this first chapter.
This should be better, just kind of based on the premise. There's a lot to go off of here, and you at least, I think, should be able to create something that looks and resembles an interesting story. But goddamn, if this doesn't look like the most generic ass shit. Also, the studio and director are known for making bad anime. I don't think they've really made much that's it's a bunch of fantasy isekai, just trash all the way down the line, and I don't really have any reason to believe this is any different. Yeah, I don't care about this one at all.
I actually missed this while writing my notes, so I have no notes on this. So this is all my first
I
reaction.
could maybe see.
And
this
my
being
first
okay.
reaction is the top left guy looks funny.
I agree. The poster on Annualist and on Mal is hilarious. It's got more personality in it than the trailer did.
The first poster looks a lot better.
So I don't
It
know.
actually looks happy.
Other than that, I have no interest.
I could maybe hear later that this one was okay and not be immensely surprised, but it doesn't seem like it is very well constructed.
I think I agree that the studio and director aren't very promising, but the whole magic versus technology thing, it's not like a brand new concept, but it's like hasn't been like dug to the ground yet. So I'm a little hopeful. I'm also a little hopeful because the guy was like dual wielding miniguns, which is always a
Yeah.
thing to do.
Maybe there'll be good action. Who knows? Okay. Next up is I'm doing this one. No, it's Hikikomori Kitsuketsu no Monmon. Which
the
is
Vexations of a Shut-in Vampire Princess.
There we go. To me, this show feels like the guy, first of all, clearly likes drawing a bunch of cute girls. And this is a cute girl's drawing vehicle. So he drew a cute girl. She's blonde. She's a vampire. Whoa, who knew? She's a hikikomori. She's a shut-in. I don't really understand what that has to do with the premise, because it sounds like she's gonna leave her house a lot from the show. This is another Project 9. This is another one of the ones that they're doing. I think that this is probably going to be fine, but I don't like anime where you describe the anime by describing what stereotypes your characters are, and that is absolutely what this is. I can tell you more about the stereotypes of what these characters are trying to be. It's like lolly vampire blonde, princess bratty spoiled girl, horny maid that's a little too into her, evil queen. That's it. I don't know what this show's about.
Yeah, this show looks generic as hell.
I think it might actually be fine, is the thing, is what I'm trying to say.
That too. Like, I think it might actually be popular for people, and I could maybe be bullied into it, but right now I have no interest.
I think if you take the hikikomori element out of this, I am significantly more interested, but by putting anime buzzwords in your title like that, I think minus 10,000 social credit. Get that shit out of my face.
One of the tags in any list is LGBTQ themes.
Well, that's because the maid is really into her. Yeah.
Primarily female
characters. I think there's better places to get your Yuri this season if you're interested in Yuri specifically.
There's a lot of better Yuri this season.
Yeah.
Like there's just there's like two.
This looks like
shows.
Yeah, there's two explicit ones, and then this one's bait. This one just feels like bait.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I'm listening, this is Logan's type of show.
Exactly.
It's funny because this feels like a almost bygone era of generic. Like when you make a generic show, you don't make them like this anymore. You get like, you know, some main character, you isekai him into a world or something, and that's how he meets all the cute girls. You don't really get the like no men at all here are all the
there
girls
really
type shows that much anymore.
There's like no men in this show. It's all women. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Moving on. Who's doing this one? Oh, Logan is.
Hoshikuzu Telepath?
He's gonna talk shit. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. And I want to just apologize to Hoshikuzu in advance because I am just out of room in my heart for she's just like me for real bad at communicating girls who sit in the backs of classrooms. Maybe you should have named the main character Hitori Bochi because that trick has worked twice on me before, but it hasn't worked any other time.
Yeah, Logan.
Look, as it stands, both of the characters we meet in Chapter 1 are pretty stock archetypes, and like how an alien can look and act exactly like every Genki anime high school human being here to bring the main character out of her shell is beyond me, but that's just kind of it. the one thing that this does to stand out in the sea of these like back of the classroom, one of them shy, one of them not type shows, is that they actually do a little bit of work in establishing why the talkative one wants to talk to the main character, because the main character is interested in aliens, and she's the only one who actually believes the alien when she says, "I'm an alien," because the alien looks like a human for some reason. I don't know why. Also, the art direction is kind of nice. I like the colors in the poster, at least on the girl's hair. You know me, I'm a sucker for flowy hair, but ultimately, there is not actually anything to this. I can't recommend a narrative this bland and derivative just because I like the girl's hair, so...
All right, now that shit's out of the way. I was looking forward to this show this season.
Wow.
So this is probably the best, and I'm not... All of what Logan said is valid, and this show might be nothing. I am going to preface this, because Cute Girls Doing Cute Things shows can really go multiple directions. They can be really boring. That being said, I think this is far and away the strongest in that genre from this season that we got. The visuals are very nice. They really kind of lean into the space theme. You can see the little space rocket going on. There's some really great shots. They seem to be building a rocket at some point in the trailer, and I think that's kind of cool. I did that when I was in middle school. Relatable. So I think that also, and this, my Yuri goggles are on. This is a pretty heavily Yuri themed show. It's clear that there's.
This is just flat out Yuri.
Yeah, it's clear that they're setting up the main two girls as a couple. I'm interested in that.
Is it truly Yuri if one of the girls is an alien?
I don't know what that means. My notes says, "What if a cute alien came from space and she was gay?" That's basically. That's if she's not lying. But
well, I mean,
anyway,
could it be truly gay if they're not part of the same species?
She looks like a regular girl, dude.
Self-proclaimed alien.
True. She also might be lying.
Okay, hold on. They make it pretty explicit that she's an alien because she has this like weird telepathy thing that she can do when she touches foreheads.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's your big Yuri bait in the first chapter. By the way, is that the main girls touch foreheads.
Either way,
either
way, I think that this looks solid, and I will be checking this out.
Logan, are you telling me a girl who claims to be an alien and is Genki means you don't believe her as an alien, but if she is Yuki Nagato, you believe her as an alien?
If she got glasses and is very quiet.
Yes, exactly. That's how an alien
immediately when she said
yes.
Yeah, I hope the main character stood up at the beginning of the school year and she's like, "Hey, if you are an alien time traveler,
no, she's a shut-in. She's shy. She can't do that.
Oh shit, you right.
Though imagine if this girl showed up in Haruhi was the main character. The fanfiction writers get going.
All right, me. I'm the fanfiction writer.
Juan and Tim, are you gonna watch this with me, or is it gonna be another Chris watches Yuri by himself?
Chris, no, this show looks very cute. This looks very cute and wholesome. When Logan was going off, I'm like, oh man, it sounds like Chris is gonna agree with him. It's gonna make me feel bad for trying to check this out. All right, cool.
It was on my radar from the beginning of the season. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, let's go. Me and you, Chris.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe Mark will watch it too. How about you, Tim?
Oh, it could be a rare.
I'm definitely checking out. It's pretty rare we get like flat out Yuri shows, and all the art and PV4 has been pretty pretty. So
yeah, the main two girl designs appeal to me a lot.
Yeah, they're good.
The hair for the
main girl,
the black hair with the blue, the hair change color. It's like
all right. Let's do this. Let's see how long we're gonna talk about Kamirabi. Let's go, Tim. Give us the context.
Oh boy, Kamirabi. So this was announced back in April or March for like I think Anime Japan. It's a collab between Yoko Taro and Jin, who has done Nier, and Jin who did a bunch of music videos and did Make a City actor as well. So this is basically what's the fucking Death Diary phone. Why am I blanking the name?
Oh, Mirai Nikki?
Mirai Nikki, like 2.0. It's basically this guy gets a wish and now he gets chosen to become the next god, and he has to kill all the god candidates before like he gets his like ultimate wish or something, or becomes god. I don't know what it is, but it's basically a glorified death game. which I would be kind of skeptical, but it is Yoko Taro, so I'm also kind of.
I don't know,
hopeful.
man. I think the fact that the premise is a copy and paste from Mirai Nikki is not the best. I would expect a little bit more from them.
There's been a lot of death games.
I know, but it's
I'm
so
not gonna
similar.
write it off
Anyway,
just because it's death.
But Mirai
games.
Nikki, it has the yandere as the selling point, right?
You know, Gaslight. Yeah,
This one doesn't have
they
yandere.
they could have some
just
cool
has the
writing.
character.
There's a lot of things they could do to make it interesting.
there are.
Unfortunately, just like not a lot of information that you get from the TV
So-
and stuff.
A couple of things real quick. It's full CGI. I think the visuals actually look pretty good. There's a lot. The art design is good. Some of the CGI is a little janky, but the art design and the character design is interesting. However, big however, this is not made clear in the trailer, but is in the premise, assuming the premise is not just explicitly wrong. These guys are first year high schoolers, so they're like 14, and his wish that he gets to choose was to have sex with one of his classmates.
It wasn't sex.
That's what it says on the Annie
That's what it
chart
says on the Annie chart.
thing.
Yeah.
I am reading the Annie chart premise. And then it is described as the fetish battle royale by God candidates. And these are all, first of all, the character designs make them all look like they're 12. I don't know why. They all look very small and short and like children-esque. And they are, I think they're all young high school kids. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be wanting to watch extremely horny, quote unquote, fetish battle royale. It's just weird vibes all around.
I don't think it's gonna focus on that though. I really don't.
I think it is because it's being described as that. Anyway, I will watch episode 1 because I'm curious, but my sus radar is on maximum. I also hate Jin, and he's my enemy. Well, let me rephrase. He makes great music, but I think he's one of, when he tries to write shows, he is one of the worst writers working in anime.
Well,
But he's also being worked with Yoko Taro, and I say
think
let the man
Yoko
cook.
Taro was listed as the planner. I don't know how much he's actually writing the show.
Yeah, remember when Geno Ibuchi wrote the original plan for Ald Noah Zero, and then Ald Noah Zero happened?
It was not Yorabuchi's fault. What happened? They should have trusted the plan.
I know, I'm just what I'm saying. Like, a good writer, I'm not saying that to disparage Ibuchi, I'm just saying that a good writer writing the quote-unquote original plan does not necessarily mean that people are going to follow and execute the plan properly.
We'll see.
I say let the man cook.
I think this has promise, but like, dude. I don't know. Not the most problematic anime on the list. We'll get there. That's coming up later. Yeah, there's one that's really bad. Later down the line.
Tim's been trying to say something. What's up, Tim?
huh?
Yeah,
I
you've been
don't
trying to say something.
It's fine. I'll bring it up later.
Okay. This one I think we just don't have enough information on, and we really are gonna have to see it in action. But it's interesting. All right, Logan, talk to us about yet another Sherlock Holmes fucking type beat.
All right, so this is Kamino Hashiron no Kindan Suiri, I think. And it's kind of like someone took specifically the second Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie, the crazier one, and decided the best way to improve it was to make Jude Law's Watson say, "Whoa, this is crazy," like 15 times every scene. They give us a full mystery in chapter 1, which is great because I don't have to read chapter 2 to know that the author can't really write good mysteries. They hide multiple pieces of evidence until the reveal. They never even show the killer until it is time to catch him, which is like sub Scooby-Doo tier, writing as far as mystery goes. The Sherlock analog is excessively quirky and not really in a fun way. And as mentioned, Watson is only there to be the world's absolute worst Tsukomi. Like, he's just like, whoa, that's weird, that thing you did. And the big reveal at the end of Sherlock's dark secret that he's been hinting at the entire time is yet another dramatic moment that made me laugh really hard. I don't know if I want to spoil it or not. Do you guys mind if I just...
Would it be in
you can
episode
spoil
1?
It would be in episode 1.
Then I don't care.
Spoil it.
So his big thing, the reason he's such a good detective, but the reason he hasn't been taking cases for 5 years is that apparently whenever he meets the killer, he blacks out, and so this is how it's presented in chapter 1. He literally just tells the guy, kill yourself, and then the guy tries to kill himself.
What?
Whoa.
Like, they're on top of a building, and he's like, jump off the building, and then the guy is just like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, and I don't know if that is... Basically, the thing is that he apparently always tries to kill the culprit when he catches them in some kind of fugue state, and I don't know if it's always just like, I told the guy to kill himself, or whatever, because they make it intentionally very vague how it happened in the past. But yeah, that is the setup, and that's kind of what Watson is there for, is that he's supposed to stop the people from killing themselves or from getting killed at the end so they can, like, actually put them in jail.
Incredible. This looks
ridiculous.
like worse Millionaire Detective Club, and I just don't care. I'm not into the yaoi angle, so whatever.
I love detective shows, and it pains me to say that this one was not good. Like, I wanted to like this going into it.
We're already watching Undergirl Murder Farce this season. Like, I've already got my fill of detective shows for the year.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when that's what is like preceding it. When you're up against something that good for the year, but too bad. Tim, any interest in this one or?
I haven't looked into it too much actually.
Okay, too bad. Okay, next up, I think I'm doing this one is Kawaoge Boys Sing. This is a show about a group of choir boys, who I think it's just like a club, like pretty boy show, group ensemble cast, if that's your thing.
Pretty boy choir club.
I liked the trailer. The trailer is very well edited, but at the same time, the charm of the trailer kind of wore off by the end when it really just seemed like they took a scene out of the anime and then they edited it all cool and fancy, but it wasn't paced like a trailer. It was just them talking the entire time. So I don't know what to think about that. Anyway, I am not going to be watching this show. I don't care.
This is like the third yaoi bait show this season. Like, there's a lot of yaoi bait this season.
That's what I've been saying. Yeah, that's about
I'm not the audience. Like, move on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Juan, this is you. You're doing this one.
Hey, looks like I'm the audience in this one here. Kenzumi na kimi to keken zero na ore ga otsukai suru hanashi. Or our dating story, the experienced you and the inexperienced me. Let's see. It's in a virgin protagonist and a popular girl, and they're hooked up. No, it's he gets to ask her out as part of a losing of a batsu game, and they start going out and they're learning about each other. I'm pretty sure I read a doujin that's just like this.
True. I don't know if this is like going in an NTR direction. Is that what you're implying? That this is going?
No, not NTR. Just like, you know, like an unpopular boy asks out a popular girl, and they are just slowly learn about each other.
If you like Yarus, go for it. I guess
And hey, I like Yarus.
This seems really boring to me.
I want to check out like at least episode 1.
I do not care. I am not the target.
I figured. Yeah, you're not the target audience for this.
Okay. Does anything else from the other boys before we move on?
What do you think I think about
I
this
figured.
show,
I
think
I didn't love
you're
it.
just like me, for real. When you see the main guy.
Am I doing the next one? Okay. This one is Kikansha no Maho wo Tokubetsu Desu. I think this is the one where he goes back in time. Yeah, okay. Worst CGI dragon of the season award. The boss that he's fighting looks like a PS2 game enemy. It is incredibly low. It ruins the sense of stakes that, like, oh my god, this dragon's killing all my friends and wiping my team. Oh no, when it looks like bad, like rendered just so poorly. Anyway, this is a very, very popular genre right now in light novels and in webtoons. So I would this is one of 2 that we have of this genre, and I would expect to see a lot more in the coming years.
What's the genre here?
Someone dies, and then they go back in time to prevent their death. It's got that sort of isekai element of like protagonist dies and then things change, but it's all within the same timeline. It's in the same story, right? And usually it's like they want to prevent their murder or something like that. In this instance, he gets killed by the final boss and wants to go back in time and like train and make sure that he can basically remake all the friends that he made and like that died and then win, I guess.
I've never heard of this genre before.
I'm just my wife Ellie reads a bunch of webtoons, and I think she's told me about like, how many would you say have this exact premise? Like they go back in time. Is it like 5 or more than that?
Wow.
She says at least 5 that she's reading right now that have this exact type of premise. So anyway,
that's really funny.
Well,
Guest appearance by Ellie in this episode.
Yeah, I would expect to see more. This looks bad. Just this specific anime looks incredibly generic and stupid, and I don't care.
Is this? Oh, okay, no. So this is a webtoon, the original.
This is a web manga, I believe. Or a light novel. Wait, no, is it a web?
Still hear Ellie counting in the background.
Hold on.
Yeah, it says manga South Korean here.
Oh, this is literally a webtoon. Okay. This is this is a Korean web manga. I would bet that this is a webtoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, don't care. Looks bad. Next up is Kimi no. Oh yeah, Logan did this one.
I can say it. Yeah, I can say it. You don't have to say it. So this is Kimi no koto ga dai daisuki na hyakunin no kanojo.
Oh shit! It's this show.
That.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm surprised that Juan knows about this.
Yes,
although it does seem up his alley.
I know the English name, the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You.
Yeah, that's what the die is.
So this feels like a complete ripoff of Kanojo Mo Kanojo coming out in the same season as season 2 of Kanojo Mo Kanojo, which I think this thing is going to get its lunch completely eaten. Like, longtime fans of the manga pre-read, which is literally just Chris, because he's the only one who
I think Mark reads them, for the record.
Chris and Mark, if he's somehow listening.
Manga pre-read audience is literally 3 people.
Yeah, you do post it in a private Discord chat.
I guess 4, yeah.
Anyway, longtime fans of the manga pre-read might remember that I was way warmer on Kanojo Mo Kanojo than I had any right to be, which means that I laughed at it a few times and gave it a couple of chapters before I dropped it. This show will not get that same mercy. There were some... So the premise here essentially is that due to, I think, a cosmic bug in the system, this guy has 100 soulmates. And also, if you meet your soulmate and it doesn't work out between you and your soulmate, then you die.
No,
so
I think she dies. The girl dies.
Yes. That's what I was trying to imply.
Really
there.
funny.
So he's trying to keep all 100 of these girls alive. And the premise is kind of funny, but then the actual like humor of the show comes out, and it's got like some real nasty attempts at meta humor, including the line, "Stop repeating what I just said. You've been doing that for a while now. You're just wasting panels," which, in addition to being the tagline for this entire season of manga, is a great example of intentionally bad writing still being bad writing. Yeah. The plot is objectively more absurd than KMK, but KMK feels more absurd just because the jokes are tighter, the pace is faster. It's just a better manga with a similar premise. And if you've ever wondered if there like really is a difference between a C- and a D+, this is that difference. I don't think, especially with season 2 of KMK out, I don't even know if Juan really should be watching this.
You say that, Logan, but this was brought to my attention from Tim a while ago, and like he's like, "Oh, this is gonna be an Ecchi Bro show for sure." And now that we're here, this is probably gonna be an Ecchi Bro show for sure.
This premise is fucking funny, and I don't think that they're going to do it right, which is deeply disappointing. What a waste of a great idea! Like,
I mean, the secret is that they definitely can't have 100 girls.
No,
like,
but I think you can lean into
girls,
there's a couple of things you can do, right? First of all, I don't know if they're did any girl die in the manga?
No, girls did not die.
That is step 1. You have to kill a couple of them, or else it's just not funny. You need to take the absurdity of the premise like all the way, and I don't think the show is going to do that, which is lame. And the way they were describing it, he genuinely likes all these girls. I just think the idea of him having to juggle that many bitches at the same time is really funny. And if he doesn't, they fucking die. Like, do something with it, right? Like, anyway, it's silly enough, but yeah, I agree. This is just going to be boilerplate harem at the end of the day, which is lame because it's a funny premise. Also, there's a lolly. That's what I was like kind of half in. And then a girl who looked like she was like 7 years old showed up and as part of the harem, and I was like, never mind, I'm out. Goodbye.
But she does have an older sister that looks really hot.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He's trying to fuck a 10-year-old or something.
He's not trying to fuck every single one of them. He's just trying to not let them die.
Okay. Doesn't just weird lolly defense there. I don't know.
I'm not defending the lolly. I'm not.
So yeah, too bad. Basically, is where I'm at. Have fun, Ecchi Bros, but this looks
probably
bad.
will.
Unless it, sucks. Okay, next up, this is the one I was talking about. They put the entire budget into their 2 voice actors. Am I doing this one or is? Oh no, Tim is.
For now, yeah. Well, for now.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so this is Konyaku haki sareta reijo wo hiroata ore ga ikenai koto wo oshie komo. What was the English on that one?
I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in naughtiness. I'll spoil her with delicacies and style to make her the happiest woman in the world.
That is a light novel ass
editing.
Title.
That is the longest title I think we've ever had.
It's up there. It's not the longest. There's been worse. Okay, so this one, the premise is that there's this wacky dude that people call the Demon Lord. He's feared because he hates people. I don't think he's actually a bad guy though. He's just kind of a grumpy. And he lives in the hermit in a very lush mansion and deep in the woods. And he finds out that this princess is being exploited by her family. I don't know. She had to flee her country, and so he rescues her. And then his goal is basically to ruin her, but like by letting her eat candy as her main meal. Basically, I don't know. It seems silly. My interest decreased dramatically as they continued introducing girls in the trailer, which is a trope I've noticed in these types of trailers for these types of shows. It's like, here's the premise, here's another girl, here's another girl, here's another girl, and it's just like, okay, I understand what type of show this is now. And so the main draw, obviously, for this show, and what I think they spent all the money on is that they have Hayami Saori is the main girl and Sugita Tomokazu is the main guy. So that's like clearly. Oh, also there's a talking capybara. That was sick. I loved that.
Hey, yo, capybara?
More of that, please. But clearly it's just a vehicle for the main 2 VAs who are obviously really popular to like bounce off of each other and to see if they have chemistry. I also say the main character's design. I think I've seen like 3 other anime like isekai type show characters that have his exact look, which is crazy.
I mean, black and white hair with red eyes, like, yeah, that's as generic as you can get with those kind of designs.
Anyway,
I don't really have any interest in this.
Not even for your boy, for Sugita. Okay,
no.
Damn, try to check.
How about you, Tim?
I think I'll check it out just for the seiyus.
That's what I figured you'd say. I think this could actually maybe be cute, but I also think this could be really bad. It's on that teetering edge. I like the dog, the wolf. She seems cool.
The capybara.
I love the capybara. I will admit. That was.
You should watch just for the capybara.
I was like getting so bored by the trailer, and then the fucking capybara with the giant X scar on his face, like the war-torn capybara, shows up, and I'm like, yo, can I have an anime about him instead entirely?
So just the picky Sakai, but with a capybara instead.
Yeah, I would watch that.
Okay.
Just straight up.
Okay.
Okay. Next up is a big one. I think Tim's doing it.
Yeah. So the Apothecary Diaries. This one's a highly anticipated show coming up about this, like, I think we're in like ancient China, and she's like,
I can't tell if it's Japan or China. Her name is Mao
Pretty sure it's
Mao, so
China.
I think it's China as well.
So she's like this like servant girl who's working in the palace, and then she like discovers medicine, and she becomes like basically like the Snow White anime. She becomes like an apothecary, and she like works in the palace thing. There's a lot of high names. People work on it. It's OM, which is cool.
It's Olam and Toho.
Kevin.
It's a combo. It's a
yeah,
combo.
and Toho. Kevin Penkin's working for the music for this one.
Hey, yo.
Maybe a good anime. We'll see.
Well, now you're obligated to watch just for him.
I know. I actually am.
See, the director hasn't directed a whole bunch, but he's like dabbled in a lot of like really good series, like Vivi and Aoyashi and Dr. Stones. So I think I have a lot of faith in this show going really good, and it'll look gorgeous. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually had no interest in this show until you said Kevin Pankin's doing it. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
To get you guys all excited.
I was looking forward to this one from before the season. It looks
really
like
Well, where'd you hear about it?
It just has a good like group of people working on it, and it's a good studio, and the trailer was really nice. So
yeah, the vibes are good.
Cool.
It is 2-core though.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll see. I think it looks cool though. It's one of the ones I'm definitely looking forward to checking out just because it has good production values. Okay, next up is Megumi no Daigo Kyukoko no Orange. I think we determined that this was a remake. So there was a manga that was old.
No.
Okay.
So so there's a manga made back in like the 90s or something, and that had a 40-minute movie based off of that. But then the guy made a sequel manga to that in like 2020 or something like that, which has like basically nothing in similarity to the other manga, other than it's like somewhat in the same universe and they're both firefighter, but it's basically a separate thing. And that one that he started writing in 2020 is getting the anime, and that's what we're watching now.
So it's the new manga that's getting an adaptation.
So there's no sequel or nothing or remake. It's just like a weird thing that he did.
So this one is about firefighters, except I think the world is worse, so there's more fires from what I can tell. I think it's cool that Japan seems to be obsessed with firefighters recently. I don't know why that is such a thing. I'd rather
but these are like actual firefighters. Like everything else
know.
is
I think
like
it's
fantasy.
No, I think this is a little fantasy too.
I think it's pretty like firefighter, like
real life,
rooted in reality.
That's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, good. I'd rather have this than more cop propaganda instead. So, sure, inspire the youth to join the fire service or whatever. I don't know about this one. It looks fine. I really don't have much else to say.
I kind of want to check it out just because, like, it's actually like a grounded in reality firefighter kind of show. Like, I want to check it out like at least a little bit. Like probably like episode 1.
That's kind of about my interest level.
It looks a little rough, but it seems like it has a lot of like character and personality to it.
Yeah.
So
we'll see if
I kind of want to check it out.
Okay. Next up, dude, this one is fucking weird. Logan, tell us about this one.
And to think, you only saw a minute and a half of it being weird. I saw several chapters of it being weird. Yeah, it's definitely weird. So this is about two twins who are probably
It's called
alien.
Migi Todali.
Oh, yes. Migi Todali, yes. That's their names. They are two twins who are probably aliens and are pretending to be one person for nebulous but presumably nefarious purposes. They got adopted by this really well-off family, and they do like these gymnastics stunts to constantly pretend that they're one person for no real reason I can discern. But the core of it isn't really the mystery, because the chapters, don't really give you anything resembling hints as to the answer of the mystery. The core of it is the comedy of errors that kind of goes on as they try to interact with their adopted family and have to, keep their twin magic situation a secret. So, one of them's hiding under a table of meals. They have to get their parents to buy them identical clothes so they can reliably do the hot swap thing they have to do. They got to deal with the rambunctious dog or whatever, sees them under the table. And, see, I wish that they just gave us more information up front, because as a mystery, it's not a very good mystery. And as a comedy, it's kind of inscrutable because I don't know what these two people want. Like they'll do nice things with the family and for the family, and then they'll go back to their room and their little teepee and they'll be like, ahaha, all according to Keikaku, this is our big nefarious plan to cook an apple pie. And it's like, what? Why is this your plan? What are you doing? Like, it's not explained enough to be a great comedy, and it's not like enough of a mystery to really be a great mystery. It just kind of feels like it's hung in the middle between them. And also, this isn't really a problem for the anime, but the figure drawing in the manga is really weird, and I assumed
That's
it was
how it
weird
is in
for
the
me being-
anime. It's
Oh,
so
really?
yes. All of the characters look fucking freaky. The main two look
Uh-huh.
they're a little scary, actually.
I assumed that they were supposed to look weird until I met the parents who also looked weird, and I was like,
Maybe it's
maybe
just the
he
art
just
style,
draws
yeah.
like this?
I was
guess?
initially really put off by the art style, but by the end of the trailer, I think it was meant to be on purpose. So I'm like, okay, sure. You should watch this trailer, Logan. It is
Mhm.
incomprehensible. There is so much shit happens in it. It is all very strange. I have no explanation for any of it. I am interested. I will admit, I'm curious, just because it seems very like I don't know how to describe it. It's going a lot of different directions. I don't know. I am intrigued. I wish I crave more information. I just don't know how much
Mhm.
time the anime is gonna plot along without like giving us a hint of what the fuck is going on. There seems to be a
Mhm.
lot that is going on. I no clue.
Mhm.
Inscrutable. I'm still a little interested.
I will say, I think that this was the mangaka behind Haven't You Heard of Sakamoto?
Yeah,
if you
I was
read
gonna
or
say.
watched that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know
So,
what? When you
the
mentioned
only-
that, the character design is like a little similar.
It's vaguely similar.
Nowhere near as
but-
ugly though.
The premise is like a complete 180 of what Sakamoto was. Sakamoto is very like gag humor, simple-minded kind of, and this seems like a lot more like, and a lot more going on.
This is trying to be,
So,
I think, uncanny and off-putting.
uh,
So
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm gonna check out
And it
episode 1.
succeeded in that.
Yeah.
But if you guys come back and tell me it's good, I will hop on the boat with you. But for my purposes, I think I have seen enough.
How about the other two?
Yeah, I'm fine skipping out on this. Like,
You
if
should
I
watch the
hear the
trailer.
internet, if I hear the internet say like, "Oh, this was actually really good," then I'll go back and watch it. But for now, I'm good.
How about Tim? Is your curiosity like mine?
I'm a little. I kind of want to watch it a little bit, just kind of out of obligation. The creator for this one actually like just died like a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Right before her
really?
work came out. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
it's
crazy.
It's terrible.
So I
Huh.
kind of just want to do it just in her honor and just see how it is.
Mhm.
Okay, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I might check it out. All right, Logan. Next up.
Okay, so Ojo to Tobankin-kun. If I were trying to write an age gap romance with the intent of maximizing, deepening, and accentuating the creepiness of the concept, I think it would be less creepy than this very sincere attempt at writing an age gap romance.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, everything that comes out of the main guy's mouth is the creepiest thing I've ever heard. It makes me want to just crawl out of my own skin. And like, I don't know, I like it. Even if I were, a woman who was into this generally, which I'm not, there's no way that I would be into this specifically because it's also just kind of like pig ugly. Like the characters have very gaunt and weird looking faces and just a little bit too much detail put into their features. And it tries to do the watercolor art style when it does color, but it just kind of looks like washed out more than anything.
Anime's ugly as hell as well, by the way.
Anime is what?
Ugly as hell also. It doesn't look good.
Ah, wonderful. But yeah, this is just weird, man.
I don't really I get that it's probably the author's fetish, but that's also problematic. This is completely unacceptable to me. This is the one I was talking about. She is 15, he is 26.
That
Is an 11. That is statutory
Yeah.
rape. I'm sorry. Jail. This is so gross. And it's not even the reverse, because the anime likes to do the reverse with like older girls and younger guys, and it's like fine or whatever. No, this is just straight up. This dude is a full-on adult, and this is a child. Japan has always been weird about this, especially in like the 14 to 18 range. That just seems to be fair game for anime. But really highlighting on the predatory nature of this as like a kink, I guess. I don't know. Keep it for the dojins. I cannot condone this. This is unacceptable to me.
everything about this premise just screams like red alarm bells and just like big yikes with the whole obviously 26 and she's like
15.
16,
She's 15. Yeah.
It's like everything was very like watch out. That being said, the PV seemed like quote unquote innocent enough. I didn't see anything that was like
Tim, there's a scene where the girl lands on him on bed and their mouths are super close to each other.
It doesn't matter if there's no sex in the manga or anime. I expect there will be, but
I'm saying is that I'm hoping it won't be as bad as the premise makes it out to be because the premise
romance.
is like,
they're gonna kiss and stuff. It doesn't matter, dude. I don't.
Right. Well,
it's unacceptable.
It's tagged as romance, but we've had like other romance with this like premise before.
I don't feel
that wasn't
the need
as
to
bad.
play defense. It's very obvious what this is trying to be.
I'm.
It's a very popular.
I'm not defending it. I'm just hoping it's not going to be as bad as it sounds.
This is an extremely popular like Wattpad / fan fiction genre as like mafia boss and girl. Yeah.
A lot of times before, and none of them has really been super bad. I'm hoping this doesn't cross that line of being super bad.
Chris, this is the third Project Number 9 show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. They're working on
you
all
said that.
3 of them. So, anyway,
a whole lot of winners. It sounds like.
Yeah, we're not. I don't condone that. Anyway,
I'm not the target audience. I don't really care.
I think it shouldn't be made personally, but keep it in the manga at least.
I haven't met anyone who's like, oh yes, I'm like looking forward to this show.
I haven't either.
Like even on the female audience side, I haven't like seen anyone who's like, yeah.
Okay.
Man, having a Fujo correspondent would be great in this episode or of this seasonal preview.
Well, that's not Fujo.
I know Fujo
that's
people.
Not Fujo.
It's not Fujo, but like, it's like that same kind of like audience. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
No, it's absolutely not.
Anyway,
you know what Fujoshi is?
I do know what Fujoshi means. Whatever.
Next up is Overtake, which is Aoki's new show, which he hasn't done one in a while. It is about F4 racing, which is a type of drag racing. I think this is very much just going to be like a sports like racing type of show. It looks fine. Like I thought the trailer looked nice. Aoki seems to like a very specific type of character. They all look the same in all of his shows, which I think is interesting. I like him and I like his stuff for the most part. And have been looking forward to him making a new thing, but this one might be a little too niche.
What's he done?
A bunch of stuff. Oh man. Over like
It Invaded.
Recreators, Aldnoah technically, but we're not gonna fault him for that. But Recreators and It Invaded are good.
Yeah. Okay, no, I see the similarities to these shows. Okay. Yeah, I see.
The Lord, he did Bloom Into You and the Lord. Okay, well no, he worked on Bloom Into You, but yeah, Fate Zero. That's probably another big one of his.
Which guy?
Aoki. Yeah.
The director did.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's done all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I don't know that I'm going to watch this because, like I said, it's very niche. I know very little about drag racing like this. So.
Drag racing.
That's what it's about. F4 racing.
F4 is, I don't know what the difference between.
Do you call that drag racing?
That's what it looked like to me. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I know so little about car racing. I don't know the different types. I don't know the difference between like F1 or F4, like the European ones, Indy 500. There's so many. All the cars look different, and I don't know why they look different, and I'm scared. Anyway.
I like to think that there's like a serious racing guy who's in our like listening to this right now who's just having a brain aneurysm.
No, he should be happy.
Chris talk.
He should be happy that he's getting a cool anime about cars. This is probably going to be fine. I don't know if I will watch it. We'll see. Maybe if it's slim pickings and I'm looking for stuff, this is probably going to be solid. So
we got more than enough pickings, Chris.
I don't know, man. Anyway,
well, we also have like continuing shows, but whatever. I'm fine missing out on this. This I wouldn't say it's like yaoi bait, but it's definitely like pretty boy.
Definitely not yaoi bait.
Not everything with a bunch of guys is yaoi bait.
I don't even think there's a bunch of guys. I think it's just more like a sports show. Yeah.
I see mostly guys.
Okay, Juan.
I think it's been all guys in the.
I think you should
regardless, it's a shonen
one
kind
chick.
of.
I'd say wait one show down, and then you'll get real yaoi bait. Anyway, Paradox Live, the animation, is a multimedia project about rappers, and apparently they have accessories.
Another one?
And their accessories mix with their DNA, and they make illusions linked to their emotions during the performance. So maybe they rap about dragons and they make maybe they are imagining dragons, if you will.
No.
Anyway, I
No.
want to show like JPEG Mafia or Quavo this anime and see what they think about it. Because all these rapper boys, I don't know, they don't look like rappers to me.
I do like the character design of the Dilf and the girl. The girl's not on the poster, but
No,
like,
she's
I
not.
see her
She was in the
the-
trailer.
Yeah.
The Kuneko, yeah.
I
Oh shit! His voice by Kuroneko. Ooh.
I am hesitant to approach mixed media music based projects like this. I don't know. This looks sketch to me.
It does look very sketch, but fuck, Kuroneko's doing a voice.
I don't think you're actually gonna watch this one.
I don't think I'm actually gonna watch it, but
I doubt
that is very cool. Good for her.
I think
Any other comments?
yeah.
Tim?
Anything else? I don't know.
I don't know. The kill designs are very cool. And
Yeah.
I actually listened to a couple of their songs. There's some pretty neat songs there. I just don't know how that's all gonna like come together
In a
into like
show.
a cohesive anime.
I wonder if this is supposed to be like a rival to Hypnosis Mike, which is
Probably.
another rap multimedia project.
They probably saw how successful it was and like, oh, we can do that too.
Yeah.
And made their own.
Isn't there a Hypnosis Mike this season?
Yeah,
Yes,
there is.
There's
a
another
season.
season.
There is.
Okay. Next up is a big one. Tell us about Pluto, Logan.
I'm so excited for this. So just to kind of get you in my headspace, I did the entire pre-read in like 9 hours in one day, basically. And if you've been listening to me like kind of follow through this, I haven't said like unambiguously I like this about anything so far, and then I get dumped into one of the best manga by one of the most storied mangaka of all time, and I was like, wow, this is how it feels to be happy. I had kind of forgotten. So Pluto, to answer a question you asked before the podcast, Chris, is Naoki Urasawa adapting a specific arc from Astro Boy. So it's I think it's called the Greatest Robot in the World arc. But it's broadly I've read through like a few chapters, and Astro Boy himself has not actually shown up yet.
He's in the trailer. So
I know he's
yeah.
in it at some point,
Yeah.
but it's mostly been focused on the detective robot Geist and certain other robots, because basically what's happening is that robots are getting murdered, and we're not quite sure why, and we gotta figure it out. And it's this kind of like cool detective story that also kind of mingles in, you know, sci-fi themes about like robots and people and advanced AI and so forth. And I am still reading it. I was literally reading more of it like 10 minutes before this podcast started. This is really, really good, and the ball is entirely in the studio's court to give this the adaptation it deserves. The only reason I wouldn't watch this is if, like, you know, the animation sucks.
Is this your first Tezuka thing, Logan?
Actually, no, it's not, because I read Dororo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I read through all of that, and this is, I don't think this is technically
It's not Tezuka,
it's an adaptation of Tezuka's story.
Which the manga
By
is, what's his name?
Urasawa.
Yeah.
This is Tezuka.
It is
Like-
Tezuka adjacent for sure. It's his property. But
Yeah, he wrote it.
I don't know if Juan knows who the mangaka we're talking. Not Tezuka.
Of course
but
I know.
other-
It's Astro Boy. Fuck
No,
you.
no. The
No, Urasawa. His most famous work is
Monster. He's the guy who wrote Monster one.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's a very different
Oh.
style. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted
and
to
I
make sure you
really,
knew.
the thing that worries me a little bit, I didn't watch the trailer, but the thing that worries me is that I just adore the art in the series.
It looks good.
It's so good. It's like it's got this like sort of realistic-ish style, but it's not like going way too hard into the realism on like something we will talk about later. And I don't know, it just looks gorgeous. I love the way this manga looks, and I hope that the anime looks even half as good.
Dude,
It
I'm
seems to-
skimming the trailer. It looks
It's
really good.
I was what I was gonna say. It
It's-
seems to be
it's-
it's high budget. They're doing a good job
Yeah.
with it.
It looks
Oh,
like kind of
baby.
like a modern monster kind of.
Yeah. It's I
style.
really like it's very fluid. There's lots of Sakuga. I'm excited for this.
Oh baby.
Yeah, I think
8 hour
this is
I think it's 8 episodes, and each episode is an
Yeah.
hour long.
yeah, and they're all dropping on
Uh,
the same day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know if they're dropping all the same day
That's what
yet.
Mal said, but that might be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, this is easily one of the most excited or the most hyped shows for this season. Was previously anticipating it. Now that I've actually know a little bit more about it, I didn't have all that context. I'm even more excited. It's a little weird that I'm gonna watch this before Monster, but whatever. I still think it'll be cool. It'll be a cool introduction to the Astro Boy universe, which I really know nothing about. Also, I've kind of dodged all of the spinoffs over the years. But otherwise, very, very excited for this.
All right, next up, we have an anime added by Tim. Tim, you lead the charge because if you add it, you got to take the charge.
This is another one of Tetsuka's like old manga from like the 60s.
This is a movie. Why are you talking about?
No. There's another one. There's look for the alternate version. Okay, so they're making a TV version for this, and then they're making a movie version of the TV with an alternate ending to it. Which makes no sense why they would do that, but yes, that's what they're doing. I think I added the movie title by accident, but I also have the Hinoto Eating no Sora.
Oh, and this is a Disney Plus exclusive too. Oh my god, this is
Disney Plus.
This is okay. I'm not surprised. This is a 4-episode ONA that is also a movie. This barely counts as a TV anime. We can talk about it though because it's cool, and I'm down. Studio 4 Degrees Celsius is working on it, and they make good shit.
Yeah, and they've done cool stuff. They've done like the Rail Show. They've done lots of movies. This is the first time doing a TV anime since like 20 years.
This is the Tech on Kincrete guy, by the way, which is crazy.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. Wow, I did not know this was getting made. This is cool. Very interesting.
Okay, well, suddenly I'm interested.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now is on my radar. I will definitely check it out. Disney Plus jail sucks though. Cool art style.
Yeah,
I'm sure by Disney Plus it probably means like Hulu.
Well, yeah, that's how all US is. All the US stuff comes to Hulu because Disney Plus doesn't have anime on it. Okay, moving on. Trying to get this done in less than 2 hours. Failing.
7 minutes, not happening.
Potion, Dano Nomi. I don't know. This show looks like ass. I think by making your generic isekai fucking chibi art style to try to give it some originality is a nice idea, but it doesn't change the fact that I've seen this exact anime premise 6 times before and I don't care. Anyone got anything else on this one? It's an office lady that gets reincarnated and she specializes in potions.
I'm good, bro.
Oh, man.
Cool. All right, Ragna Crimson. Did someone read this? Logan.
Sure enough.
Okay,
so this, I still don't know 100% how I feel about it. Like, the action directing in the manga, at least, is something. There's a heavy use of shadow that either looks really cool or completely illegible, and it's like a complete 50-50 every panel, whether I can tell what is going on. And the choreography is kind of tough to follow, and the story is something. Basically, the main character is kind of sort of living his life on New Game Plus. It's not like a full reincarnation thing, but his adult self from like 7 years in the future comes back to the night when he got all traumatized and edgy, and gives him all of his powers, and now he's going to Eren Yeager all of the dragons who are vampires for some reason. Like, they're allergic to both sun and ice, and I don't... Anyway. I'm firstly, I need to clarify that I'm using video game mechanics as a metaphor. There are mercifully no stats or levels in this. He just gets a really cool superpower. And I think it's also kind of interesting because he just turns into a real miserable asshole once he gets the memories of those 7 years. But he kind of arbitrarily doesn't get all of his memories, and, you know, skipping straight to, like, the max information, max trauma state just makes him feel like a whole new character. It's like, okay, this other guy is dead now, here's a new guy. And, like, I can imagine a future where this turns out to maybe be good, but I think given the low quality of the action, at least in the manga, I'm not going to trust it with any more of my time. If someone else wants to bite the bullet for me, maybe, but I don't think this is worth continuing with.
Apparently the first episode is an hour.
The CGI monsters look hideous.
Oh,
I would have maybe tried to give this a shot, but it looks... Everything else looks okay, but the CGI monsters are awful. And it also kind of feels like a 14-year-old chuny power fantasy type anime, and I'm not really... That ain't my shit, really. I don't know.
I'm not mortally opposed to one of those every once in a while.
I just don't think this looks particularly like good or special.
Exactly.
I wasn't interested looking into it at first, but then the way Logan was describing it kind of caught my interest, and then skimming through the trailer, I'm like, nah, I'm good actually. It
Trailer
just
was
does look
bad.
just very like edgy, for like edgy sake. Like, I'm fine.
Did you say it was going to be an hour?
The first
one
episode.
episode,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
is
it's
it?
2 core. It's 24 episodes.
God,
Damn.
really gotta dig your heels in.
So
Alright.
I'm fine not committing to this.
Next up is this. Who's doing this one? Oh, I guess I can. This seems like a bad show. This is the other one. He was a demon lord, and he was sealed away for 1,000 years, and then he wakes up.
No.
He was reincarnated as a 10-year-old boy, and
In
now
Terabang.
and now he's going to school. And it's an ecchi, and he's 10. Anyway,
That's been done before.
Great news.
great, excellent. I will say the trailer was a lot less horny than the ecchi
Whoa.
tag made it look.
What
But like
the fuck is black ass Shadow Prince?
something like
Is that a cat or a wolf?
That's a wolf.
His name is Black Ass Shadow Prince.
That's a pretty funny
Yes.
name. I will admit.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, yeah, that sure is a premise. We can move on.
We can move on.
All right,
We
this
can move
one.
on.
This one's interesting.
So, Shangri-La Frontier is about a video game, and against all odds, it's not that bad. So, the main character is like a Kusoge, Homer. He plays bad video games, and he jumps into like a big budget proper MMO for the first time, and it's kind of like Rock Lee taking off the training weights of like buggy hitboxes and bad movement and so on that other games have. I do appreciate that this lives in a fantasy world where AAA video games don't have buggy hitboxes and bad movement, but regardless. And the plot is a little slow, and it gets like a little bit tortured at times. Like there's he starts off not wearing armor for like speed purposes. Like he wants to go as fast as possible, and then he starts putting on armor because he starts getting embarrassed about walking around everywhere naked, and then he gets a curse that prevents him from wearing armor. And I just liked it more when it was like him making a trade-off deliberately about his character in a video game. But the fight choreography is pretty solid, and with the exception of one shot of a menacing computer lady, it's been kind of pleasantly low stakes. Like he's in a video game doing video game things, and he wants to like defeat the big unique boss monsters in the video game. And like it's not a death game, and nobody's trapped in anything. And like especially coming off of Ragna Crimson, which just like amped the stakes up to 12 as quickly as it could, it was nice to see something that was just like, yeah, this is just like about a guy trying to have fun in a video game, and that's the action show. So I really hope that menacing computer lady does not try to kill anybody in the future. And I actually think this looks pretty nice. Like I could imagine this is more of a soft recommendation. I can imagine where this just kind of peters out and goes nowhere, but I am willing to give this a shot. I like it.
This trailer looked pretty good. I think the character designs are nice. The art style is cool. The action was pretty solid. I have no reason to believe that this will be awful or anything. I mean, I will admit I'm a little tired of this genre in general, but the fact that it is a guy logging in and actually playing a video game, aside from all the other isekai adjacent shit that is happening, is interesting. But I still think that Japan is way too obsessed with MMOs, and they should stop making shows about them forever. But at the same time, maybe I'll watch this. I don't know.
Dude, the bird head with
That
the
rules.
muscular body
That rules.
and 2 swords. Fuck, dude, that's cool as shit.
It is. Like I said,
Character
the
design.
designs are great.
This was not on my radar whatsoever, and now that I'm seeing it here in front of me, this looks pretty cool. I'm totally down to check this out.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna watch some of it. How about Tim?
Yay.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's a weekly shonen show, and it's super pop in Japan. So I've seen it like around here and there in the last couple of months, and I've actually read I think the first like 2 or 3 chapters of it, and I was really enjoying it. It's like I get the VR MMO thing to turn people off, but it really feels more like a fantasy, and they're just like using the VR, the MMO for like an excuse to make it a fantasy. I don't know, and to make him like super overpowered to like explain that. But they don't do like the cliche like normal stuff that like bores people in those things. The only thing that slightly concerns me a little bit is the director has like mainly really only done bad things. He did the Macho no Tabi Tabi, which Chris loves,
True.
obviously. He did the Berserk
I think
2016.
no, he's done all
God.
the movies. He's done all the movies.
The movies.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
well that's not much better. And then he did Benria, which I think you guys watched a little bit of.
Does not ring a bell.
The handyman Saito
Oh,
when he's in the dungeon that like Logan I think
No,
really hated the
I
did
went
not watch
really
that.
hard on that.
I did not watch
did not
that.
like it.
Okay, that one also wasn't great, and he hasn't really directed anything else. So I'm
Okay.
a little bit concerned on that, but other than that, I think the source material is great, and
good source material
looking-
helps
looking
for
forward
sure.
to it.
Okay, the next one is Shy. I think is also a manga.
Yes, it is.
Another Logan.
So, speaking of pleasantly low stakes at first, this one's a superhero comic set in a world that doesn't really have supervillains. Like, the superheroes mostly do, like, get cats from trees and grab people from burning buildings. And one of them is really insecure. And it's just like, they establish a broader conflict a bit later, but the first shot in that war, even that, is like a high schooler is having some emotional problems. And I just like that, it feels like an action show that remembers that like Naruto started off as like just a bullied kid before he became ninja president, and like what's it called? What's his name? I'm blanking. Luffy from One Piece didn't have a crew at the beginning, and like you get to see part of the fun of action shows is getting to see someone develop into, the hero, not just like starting off as the baddest dude in the entire world. And Shy, she is not the baddest dude in the entire world, and that's cool. I'm glad that there's an action manga out there that is content to kind of rest their pilot chapter on a high schooler feeling guilty that they couldn't stop someone from getting injured. And when it does actually get into the action parts of it, I think it looks really nice, and the character designs are fun. It's got kind of like every nation has their superhero, and it's like some kind of stereotype of their nation. So the what's it called? The American one, I forget his name, is like basically just Captain America. He's got like a flag on his mask or whatever. And the Russian one is, exactly what you pictured when I said a Russian superhero, and she's drunk all the time and so forth. And it's fun. I'm enjoying this. I am willing to stake my reputation on this being good. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
Mark
was
likes
not
this
on
one
my
a lot.
radar at all, and like this is catching my interest. This sounds really cool.
It looks cute. I'm into this. I like the idea. It's a good premise, and also Mark likes it, so I was definitely obligated to at least check it out. Because usually he shoves shows or manga like this, and he's like, "You guys got to check at least one of these out." I'm looking forward to it. I like the trailer. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Any thoughts, Tim?
Definitely checking it out. It's been my radar since it got announced. I heard some good things about it. So,
All right, tell us about Fryren.
All right, Soso no Fryren. This is another cool one. It's about the remains of an adventuring party after they defeat the Mao-sama. Specifically in the life of the party's long-lived elf mage, and very specifically about her regret at kind of ignoring the rest of her normal lifespan party for the better part of their lives. Like, this opens up basically on a 50-year time skip, which is not a lot of time for Fryren. It's obviously a lot of time for every other character you've met so far. It's a good mood piece, mostly. It puts you in Fryren's perspective by putting in a lot of, like, kind of whole pages of wordless action and scenery. It's all very beautifully rendered. And this kind of manga sort of lives or dies on the dialogue, and most of it is good. It's a little tortured and repetitive every once in a while, but again, mostly good stuff. This is another stake my reputation on it, except I don't really think I'm staking my reputation because I think this one's really popular.
I think this is maybe the single most anticipated show of the entire season. That's not a sequel. Like,
Is it?
far and away, not even close. This got announced like years, plural, ago. It's a big Madhouse production. It's got a great team.
this got announced last year.
But the manga is
Like
very popular, and
The manga's very popular.
it's considered
and this
like
is,
a very artsy kind of like mood piece pick. Easily the show I am personally looking forward to the most. I think this is like it's crazy watching a bunch of like what I would consider to be bad anime trailers back to back to back, and then we finally get someone that like I'm like, oh, this mangaka knows how to write. You know, or like this the people working on this team like have a grasp of what they're trying to do with their story, and that's matched with some truly incredible visuals. It's just I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, so like that sounds like the end of a fantasy journey, right? And like it's like her like reminiscing.
yes,
A little
kind
bit. She's
of.
going through, like, she's continuing her life, but she goes through things that remind her of her past, and she'll meet some of the characters as they're older.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of like
that sounds pretty interesting because like I don't think we've gotten like many shows like this.
No, it's a pretty unique premise.
we've kind of done, but they haven't really explored it properly. Like, I think Makia was vaguely like this with the whole like age differently. And the whole, like,
but that's
emotional
like a different. That's
gap
it's
of
trying to
that
do its
one.
own Mario kind of thing.
Um,
I want to fuck my mom, etc.
All right.
The movie's
let's
weird,
not
dude.
go. Let's
Anyway.
not go there. I was talking more about the last like 10 minutes of the show, kind of thing. When she like comes back and she watches
Which is
the one that's,
crazy. I thought the
in
movie
front
was
of
gonna
her,
end. Well, yeah, that's a
in front
different
of her.
conversation.
But yeah, actually read the first volume of this, and it's really gorgeous. It kind of goes kind of back and forth between the present and like flashback with her reminiscence through her memory, which I kind of guess why like the first episode is 2 hours, is to kind of like knock all that out all at once. Evan Call is doing the music for this one, and he does really gorgeous, really like emotional impact shows, like the Violet, stuff like that. So I expect great things from him. It's the Madhouse team, and they're really putting their like A team on this one. Definitely number one on the new shows this season.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. I'm surprised that I didn't hear about this like at all.
I am
I
too
told you,
because it's one of those
Yusabi
the
was in the
classic. We
opening.
have talked about the show multiple times in the past, but that's okay.
I think like a week or two ago, I told you Yusabi in LA was doing the opening and ending. And
Oh, that's
you
true.
guys didn't
Okay,
say
that's
anything.
what it
Yeah.
is.
And Yusabi, and then I think Mille is doing.
I don't know if I
Millet is
really
doing
like
the ending.
Yusabi's opening in this. I don't think the mood really matches.
I'll have to see the visuals.
I like the song.
I'll have to see the
I
visuals
just-
before.
Mm,
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm scrolling through spoil. Oh yeah, this okay. Next up is Tier Moon Teikoku Monogatari Dantokdai Kara Hajimaru Hime no Tensei Gyakuten Story. Juan, what is that?
It's shortened as Tier Moon Empire Story.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
this is stupid. I don't like this premise at all. So this is the other time travel one that I was talking about. So she is a selfish princess that got executed as an adult in the rebellion. Her people rose up against her and cut her head off, and she reawoke in her 12-year-old body and realized that she had been beheaded. And so she has a second chance at life, and she's going to rebuild the empire. And how is she going to do that to like make it better and please the people? No. She's going to save her own life. That's all she cares about, is to not die, and she's going to make a bunch of bad choices. That is the premise. They are coming out and telling us the main character sucks shit. Anyway, this is stupid. This is a dumb premise, and I don't care. This might be good, like maybe if they lean into the historical fantasy elements, but like, bro, it seems so bad.
This sounds like those villainous shows.
It is. It's like a
but it
villainous show, but like different, without any of the appeals of those shows.
Yeah, the skipping the trailer, it looks very goofy. Like
It is.
feels
They're like making
leaning more
light of
towards,
her
like,
getting her
comedy.
head cut off a lot, which is like, oh no, don't cut me in half, guillotine, Sean.
Shut up.
That's what they're
Might be
doing. I don't know.
This little chibi guillotine in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
It
it'll
might be fun.
Yeah, maybe it'll be fun. I kind of hate her, so I don't know.
I got no interest. I'm fine.
Okay. Next up is Toaru Osan no VR MMO. One
Another
more
video game?
Yeah.
God damn.
This one just looks bad.
This one is just slop, just pure slop. Like, I have literally nothing to say about it. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks
literally
generic as shit.
He is sad and likes video games. And he plays the games in a quirky way. That's it. Anyway.
I'm fine moving on.
Next up is another big one, which is Undead Unluck.
Hey, there we go. Now we got something here.
So this one really puts its worst foot forward with like a big long string of kind of gropey jokes in the first chapter. And I really, from that, expected it to be more of a trashy, horny type than it turned out to be. And I'm not going to pretend that it's like not a trashy, horny show. Like the main character guy spends 3 whole chapters with his dick out. But they dial it back. They dial back like, they're like, that kind of stuff when the plot kicks in, at least. And it's mostly a superpower battle thing. It is structurally built around the fact that the main character guy cannot die, and main character girl can bestow bad luck on people with a touch. So they do the thing where main character guy basically does some suicide bomb attacks because he can tank the bad luck that she gives him, but the people around him, not necessarily. And that's fun. And the art is really strong, and a lot of comedy. The comedy kind of comes from how not seriously everyone is taking these life or death situations, which I actually did find pretty funny. I could absolutely see this collapsing later on, but it's outgrown its poor introduction for me, and I'm willing to give it a shot. And I know this one is popular, so...
Yeah, this is a very popular Shonen Jump manga right now. And like that's what I heard. That like the first couple chapters like rely a lot on those gropey jokes, but like after those couple chapters, it's like nothing but gas. So like I'm very excited for this. Like it's a battle shonen. Of fucking course, I'm excited for this.
This has really cool art design and character design. It's got a great sense of style. It's very goofy. Great trailer. Really, I'm excited to check this out. I'm still a little unclear as to like everything that's kind of making it tick and what the macro narrative is, but I'm excited to like learn about it as we move on.
I'm a little burned from after like Masho about like shonen battle systems, but like this looks good. It's David production. They always do great things, and the premise looks funny and good. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I mean, this is a better manga than Mashal, I'm sure, but
yeah,
and a better studio's adapting it.
Yeah, I'm just a little traumatized from it still.
Me too.
Neither main character is completely emotionless, so it's better than Mashal.
Yeah. All right, next up is Under Ninja.
So, this is a manga from the I Am a Hero guy, which started off really good and then got really bad. In my opinion, but I think that's a pretty widely held one.
Yeah.
So that was kind of strike 1. Strike 2 is that he's got this like very realistic style that works in I Am a Hero because it's this like when you draw a manga in a very detailed style, it's kind of paradoxically humanizing and dehumanizing at the same time because you're giving people a lot of details, but you're giving people a lot of gross details that they don't usually get in the style. And it fit kind of well with, the zombies of the zombie apocalypse and the kind of grody survivors that were all still around. But drawing like the modern world in that style is very disorienting. The opening scene especially just looks like he colored over a bunch of pictures of soldiers. Like they look weirdly detailed and weirdly colored. And it's like kind of impressive in a technical sense, but it's just jarring and it doesn't look right. And the story, there is no story. At least there wasn't in the first chapter. It was just like some banal exposition dump about how ninjas are real and are stopping terrorism in the Middle East, apparently. And then some different banal exposition dump about how our protagonist is an unkempt neat, just like he was in I Am a Hero. So I didn't give this chapter 2 just, because I gave it a whole other manga, I felt like, and that manga let me down, and I don't trust this guy no more, and I don't think this was particularly good enough to make me trust him again. So yeah, I can't recommend this, unfortunately.
This trailer opens up with some soldiers that like look
fully CG.
They're fully CGI and they look so bad. It's maybe the worst CGI I've seen this season. Everything else looks like okay, but I don't know. It's so jarring. Why would they do that when they can just would they animate the regular characters like regular characters? It's so weird.
Is that a guy wearing a bra?
Also, everything looks like it's fucking Modern Warfare green brown shader. It's ugly. So, I have no interest in this. If someone
I'm fine
tells me
missing
later
out.
on that it's like super good, then maybe, but this is not a great team, and yeah, I don't care.
I'm fine missing out on this.
Me too.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Next up is the other real Yuri from this season, which is another villainous story, like explicitly.
So many fucking villainous shows. God damn it.
This one has an interesting premise that I am a little worried is not going to be executed on very well because, dude, this trailer was flat and ugly. But it is a reincarnated gamer who gets reincarnated into this Otome game.
Like every other villainous show.
Yeah, but she's not the protagonist. She's just like a girl that's like there. And the protagonist is the one that she's going to try to romance, except all of the main boy interests are also there. So she's trying to participate in the, like, winning over the main character's affections as a girl, as opposed to all the pretty boys who are also still trying. So she's trying to shoehorn her way in and be the winner. So
Sounds fun.
it's a fun premise, but like, I don't know. This genre is a little bit overdone already, even with the Yuri angle, but this is not even the first one of these genres that's a Yuri. It's like the third. We'll see.
What other two are there?
The main villainous one, the first one is
Katarina.
That wasn't a Yuri.
Yeah. It's pretty gay.
Katarina is dumb as a sack of hammers, but there are a number of actual girls who are interested in her, so I would be willing to count it by
and
the
then I
standards
think there's
of
another
like a
one, but
harem show.
maybe this is the other one I was thinking about that was the light novel. I can't remember. I might watch like episode 1 of this, maybe, and see if it actually is good. But I have a feeling, like, execution wise, this one's going to be pretty poor. I don't know.
I'm fine not checking this out. Nothing really catches my eye here.
I wish it was less ugly. It's pretty ugly, unfortunately.
I don't know. Yuri is a dying breed, and the premise sounds like
The premise is
interesting
great.
enough.
I love the idea of a girl trying to insert herself into a like reverse harem situation and win and beat all the boys. That's hype. But I don't know if this will be like done well. Basically, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to give it a try.
Mm-hmm. It also depends on how obnoxious the princess is, because she seems like she might be obnoxious.
All right, last one.
Last one.
All right, Yuzaki-san Chi no Yon Kyodusai. This one is a very banal, like, drama? Comedy, I guess? About 4 brothers trying to take care of each other after their parents die. I stumble on drama because it isn't really all that dramatic. All that really happens is that they're like, brothers, 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 brothers. And then the youngest and the second youngest get lost at a festival, and then they get found, and then they're like, brothers, brothers, brothers. Being brothers means being brothers. Then
So
it's
no
over.
drama.
Yeah, so there's nothing really dramatic happening. And I stumble over comedy because it's not that funny, like even when they do try to lighten the mood. You know, this kind of dramedy sort of lives and dies on the dialogue, and most of it is bad. It's repetitive, and it's failing to sell me on their brotherly bond, which is the only thing that it's trying to sell me on, because they just talk about being brothers all the damn time. Anyway,
As real
this was
life,
not good.
As those of us with siblings, exactly like what real life family relationships are like.
Every time I hang out with my brother, I'm like, brothers, brother.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, I like that this anime subscribes to the art design style of the younger you are, the more compressed and squashed you get, which I've always thought is a really fun. If you look at the poster, it's like a sliding scale of face squish, because that's how human babies are. Yeah, I don't know. This could be cute, but I don't.
This seems more on the comfy side.
Yeah, if
than,
you want
like,
a comfy
trying to
family
be funny
style.
or dramatic.
If you
One
or
of the
maybe
tags
you're
is the
really into
Yashike.
like that men being a caregiver type shit, which has been popular recently.
I don't think that's the vibe here.
I'm just trying to spitball why someone would watch this because I don't care. So maybe it's cute.
I'm sure it's cute. I'm fine though.
Yeah, me too. I'm not the target audience, I don't think. Okay, we did it. We made it.
Top
There's
3?
so many. Oh my god. There's plenty to watch now. Is all of it good? Who knows? Yeah, Juan, let's get us a top 3.
Are we doing sequels or no sequels?
No sequels.
No sequels.
Since we didn't really talk about them. From all these new shows, which are like what, like 50? Is that
There's
that
a
we covered
lot.
here? Definitely my number one that I'm most excited for is Undead Unluck, because that was the one that I was looking forward to before everything. And then like the two that I learned from doing this podcast, Soso no Frieren, the like Madhouse, everything about it that sounds cool, and Pluto, like holy shit, that really caught my interest, especially with the author being Monster. Like that's really cool, and I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of similar answers here.
I'm gonna try to be a little bit different and not say exactly the same thing. So I will also say Freyrain and Pluto because I think that's pretty obvious. And I'll go ahead and say, much to Logan's disappointment, Hoshizuki Telepath. Let's just hope that it's good. And
gonna
that
hate
it works and it works out and that I can enjoy
Me and Chris
it.
are gonna have fun with it. I feel
You're
it.
gonna hate it.
All right.
All right. So for me, it's easy because it's all manga that I read. Pluto, Soso no Frieren, and Shy. I'm going with all of those.
Oof. All right, my turn. Definitely Sourcing the Far End. Definitely the Apothecary one. And for my third one, I want to say Pluto. We'll go with Pluto.
All right.
That was a challenge. We got
there.
I actually want to shout out Shangri-La Frontier as well. That one caught my interest when.
Yeah,
Logan
that might be
described
cool
it.
too.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty to watch. Okay, we found it. We dug up the gems out of honestly a lot. I would
A
say on
lot of
average a
slots.
higher
There's
higher
a
slot
lot of
ratios.
shows.
We did a
But-
lot of mining today.
I think this
I had
might
to
have
put
been
in
the
the
longest
fucking
podcast
work.
we've recorded.
It's up there for sure. We still did good. We did. That's the thing. We kept a good pace. We tried to get through it fast.
Yeah.
Not trying to
We've
waste
done
any of our
longer.
precious audience time.
That's fine.
All right.
Chris will cut it down.
I will cut it down. All right. With that being said, that's the fall season. We'll check back in a couple of weeks to give you guys our first reaction, and kind of see how we're liking all of these shows. And then we also actually the next one you hear will be the spring or the summer wrap up. So we will be coming to you with our opinions of everything that just finished airing in the summer season, which is starting to come to a close now. So a lot of good shows there. Very excited to talk about those. But until then, we will see y'all next time.
Later.